The Diomini house has always been an odd one filled with anger, fear, sadness, and magic. Mr. Diomini has what some people would call an obsession with the veil that holds together reality as we know it. He rants and raves about how he can manipulate, or even break, such a thing. Mrs. Diomini humors him, as is the role of a daughter married to a rich man for purely business purposes. Though she's a bit cold on Mr. Diomini, she's taken quite kindly to her personal servant, a young man by the name of Adam. He's young, mannered, and handsome, everything she wants. So when Mrs. Diomini turns up pregnant, and the twins have thick black hair and a squared chin heavily resembling their true father's features, Mr. Diomini has him hung and raises the children for future magical endeavors.
Oh shit, I have to hide!
Now we come to Jill, in a black dress that only falls to her knees, as is tradition for a woman's sacrifice to the Diomini house. Of course, Jill doesn't know why she's here. She was supposed to be at home, miles away, enjoying a night of self-care and relaxation. Instead, she finds herself running from something she's heard, but she hasn't seen, through a large mansion she's never been in before.
Here, I think I can fit in this wardrobe.
She finds herself in a guest bedroom, hiding in a gringy oak wardrobe at the foot of a dusty made bed. No one has slept here in years, and there's little chance anyone will ever again. Casser Diomini enters the room. The twin has changed since the last time we saw him. No longer a baby, he's grown. He stands now at a height of 8 feet and 3 inches. His chest has grown to inhuman proportions. Muscle covers his body in a disgusting array of peak physical conditioning. His face is a scarred mess of old wounds and hollow sockets, where the eyes have been ripped away. Chains flutter across the floor as light as feathers, while still attached to his gorish ankles. Finally, in the center of his chest lies a large metal spike, whose runes glow a dull green. More beast than man, he searches the room. Jill has found herself as this year's festum, or feast, the sacrifice to the hulking Casser Diomini, who for now she's managed to evade. But who has entered this room? She inches forward, ever so slowly and tentatively, trying not to make a sound. She fumbles her way through the dark, checking the back of the door, trying to find a hole of some sort to look through. She finds nothing as she searches. Her options seem so limited. Whether she could check by opening the door and popping her head out, or sit and wait, all the while giving that hulking creature time to come back. She leans against the back of the wardrobe, waiting, listening. Finally, there's noise. Whatever's out there seems to be rummaging through things. Finally, fear and curiosity get the best of her. She slowly opens the door, bringing just one eye around the end to see what was out there. A man sits there opposite of the bedroom door, in case anything comes in, rummaging through an old briefcase. He has shaggy brown hair that clashes with the solid black robe or jacket of some sort he's been made to wear. He rummages quickly through clothes and papers that were within this briefcase.
Hello?
The man's head shoots up quickly, eyes wide as if assessing some sort of threat. His whole body seems to sigh in relief as he sees Jill.
Hello. Who are you?
I'm Jill. Who are you?
Mark. Are you another sacrifice?
Sacrifice?
Jill stepped out of the wardrobe.
You are, it seems. The dress gives it away. What does the other twin look like?
That giant thing? It's damn hideous. What do you mean sacrifice? What the fuck
Mark seems confused. He stands to face her at eye level.
You're from outside the Fae. Damn it, that'll make escaping even more difficult. Look, there are two twins that are imbued with some kind of magic, and the village sacrifices a man and a woman to them once a year. This year, that's us. We have to get the hell out of this mansion, then avoid anyone who will get us sent back. Easy, right?
The Fae? We're in something fairy related? Oh, fuck. I'm gonna die!
Jill crumples to the floor, tucking her knees to her chest. In a comforting gesture, Mark puts a hand on her knee.
It's alright, I'll get you out of here. I'm from around here and can get you out.
If you're from here, why were you put in here with me?
I was born to be here. Let's leave it at that. Now come on, let's get the hell out of here.
The hulking mass of flesh that was one of the Diomini twins was somewhere to their left. The footsteps echoed through the halls, but sounded somewhat far away, though closer than they'd like.
Come on.
They crept down the hall, each step deliberate, trying to stay quiet. Jill had been so swept up in the situation she'd forgotten to ask about the other twin. She'd have to, when she got the chance. For now, being quiet was what she had to do. With the interior being a wide area for walking that could easily fit a line of 5 or 6 people as they walked down. An ancient red carpet ran across the floor. It was incredibly soft. Whoever designed the mansion must have wanted to flaunt every bit of wealth they'd ever gotten. Mark stopped to face her.
This way. We go down this hall and the left, then past the next 4 doors, into the 5th down the stairs, and into the large ballroom. We can escape through there.
The ballroom? Why would there be an exit in the ballroom underground?
To evacuate a lot of people at once, of course.
It made enough sense to Jill. Suppose there was a fire or something. She guessed you would want an easy way out. They started down toward the left, passing the first door, a dark, deep brown oak, trimmed in gold, with a large angel inset into the center at the top. The angel stared down at Jill, as if watching her. Those eyes seemed to stare through her, into her soul, as if searching for any kind of sin or misdeed. They were carved in a way that seemed to make the pupils themselves pop out of the angel's skull, piercing and everlasting.
You coming?
Jill shook her head as if something had come over her. Looking to Mark, he'd kept moving and was down to the 5th door already. She must have been staring at that angel. She started forward.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Then, realizing the sudden silence, she stopped.
Do you hear that?
No, I don't hear anything.
Wait.
The flesh mass of a man barreled through the wall directly to her right and into the wall on her left, stopping before breaking through. The scarred amalgamation of flesh that was its head turned to face Jill. For the first time, she got a good look at it. The center of its face was stitched together, as if multiple band-aids of skin had been applied and sewn on to cover the orifices of the face. Though the mouth and nose were covered, the hollow holes that once were its eyes stared down at her. It stepped forward.
Oh fuck, run!
She turned and ran down the hall. She heard it start to sprint behind her. She ducked to the right, turning down another hall, trying to circle back to Mark. It crashed into the wall behind her. It sounded like it turned and started down the same hall she was in. Again, she ducked into a hallway to her right. The room he'd crashed through to get to her should be on the right side somewhere. She could circle back and get to Mark. She heard it sprint past the hallway she was in and finally crash somewhere further down. It didn't seem to be able to stop very well. She found it, a door with a crack so wide that only that thing could have made it. She threw it open, and a giant hole leading to where she'd left Mark seemed to greet her. She ran through it and took a hard left. Mark had gone, but had left the 5th door open for her. She sprinted, her breath heaving, slamming it shut. Before her was a spiral staircase leading downward.
Gotta get to the ballroom.
The hall was dark, but the stairs were cold and hard on her bare feet. She thought it must have been at least 50 stairs before it opened up into an entrance to a huge ballroom. Beams arced across and connected to columns that lined the exterior. The floor shimmered with a bronze color, and for a moment, she could have sworn she'd seen a couple dancing across it. A man in a three-piece suit with thick black hair in which he'd combed parted to the right, with a blonde woman, her hair flowing down a bright red dress.
Hey, this way!
Jill turned to see Mark to her left. He was working at a panel in the wall, seemingly trying to pull it off. She ran over.
Is this the escape route?
Yeah, we can get out through here. Where's the big guy?
As if summoned by the mere mention of him, heavy footsteps rang through the staircase.
Shit, he's coming. We need to get that thing off.
I'm trying. The damn thing is jammed shut. Do you know where Pauline is?
Is that the other twin?
Mark seemed to get a grip, and the panel started to come loose.
Yeah, she's a tricky one. She's a distorter. She could make you perceive her as other things. Furniture, clothes, even people, or sounds on occasion.
People? How?
Mark got the panel off and tossed it to the floor.
Got it. I drank his blood to do it.
Jill looked in. Behind the panel was stone. No corridor. No escape.
You drank his blood?
Mark's features slowly changed. He seemed to get shorter. His brown, shabby hair grew out into long black, reaching her waist. His face thinned out to look almost anemic, and her jaw squared. His body thinned to the same anemic look as her face, and a spike covered in runes protruded from her chest. Finally, his black sacrificial jacket faded into a bright white dress covering the woman in front of Jill. Pauline smiled as Casser stepped into the room.
No one escapes the Diomini twins, sweetie.
This has been the Diomini Twins, an audio thriller by Grayska Voice. Check out the voice cast in the description below. Also in the description is my Patreon if you feel like supporting me. Subscribe for more.